Mm. Mm. Hold on. Hold that thought. Mm-hmm. Let me plug on my mic. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. Sports. Sports. Why are you gay? Just kidding. Fine. You're gay. It's okay to be gay. It means happy. But in all seriousness, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be eating this pop through some of this video. This is a video idea I think I've had for, or at least a concept that I've had for a while now. Because honestly, I want you to subscribe. So you hit that subscribe button, you get more good content like this. You get to enjoy this like good, sweet stuff through me. You don't get to have any ice cream, but you have ice cream through me. You get the vicarious dopamine rush that is provided to you through watching me enjoy this, because that's what we do on YouTube. We watch other people enjoy things and think about things, and that's what we're doing. I mean, sports. That's what sports is all about. We just literally watch other people do stuff. So I can't even believe it took me this long to think about it. You know, must be the chocolate almond ice cream on the brain. So, sports. I guess I have to say nice things about them. I think sports are fun when you get to play them. I can understand why people love and obsess over sports. I'm not disrespecting anybody's game here or enjoyment, their leisure time. I mean, I'm having a little bit of leisure time right now, enjoying something that I enjoy. So don't knock the lack of a hustle when you're relaxing. I think the main issue of how this video comes to exist. Oh wait, I was gonna say, here's the thing. My thing on sports is I prefer to be at the actual physical game, be in the arena or the stadium, whatever. Be in that space, then I can really enjoy the sport. Or I have to be like at a party, or it has to be the Super Bowl. At the end of the day, I enjoy watching the Super Bowl with my dad. It's, he loves football. He watches it, pretty much tries to watch it all, all season long. He's obsessed with the Raiders. And, always been a big fan. He's always cheering, hoping the best, even though there is no hope of them ever getting to the Super Bowl. But who knows, Stuff's changing, I guess, for the Raiders recently. So, I'm not going to get into all that, but I am going to get into a little history about myself. Back in high school, I was a little punk. Not in that I was a punk kid, like, jerk or whatever. I was a literal punk. I had, at one point, a mohawk, but it was a double mohawk. And I wasn't trying to be the dude from The Prodigy. I was not, because his mohawks were on the sides. So he had two mohawks on the side. My idea was I could grow my hair out enough that I could literally have two mohawks running down the middle. And I did get made fun of for being like the guy from Prodigy, but the like, to me, like, the goal was, like, it's hard to have like two mohawks side by side. It's already difficult having one mohawk, let alone two mohawks side by side. So that was what intrigued me about it and wanting to do it. I wish that I had pictures of it, but it was a pre-social media, pre-camera phone time. I did not have a digital camera or any camera, so I did not take any pictures. The only picture that I have is somebody took a picture at a family thing, and I just look so overweight and depressed that I don't even want to show that picture, and it just looks like I have a weird shaved mullet thing going on. I also, before that, had spikes. So I honestly can't remember if I had my hair up at that point, but I definitely was like dressing punk, getting into a lot of punk music. This was about 11th grade, I want to say. Maybe even early senior year, because towards the end of senior year, I just kind of realized, like I'm conforming to this idea of punk, but punk is supposed to be like post-conformity and anti-conformity and all that stuff. And here I am, I'm trying to conform to these ideas of what it means to be a punk. I have to have like a mohawk and spikes or whatever, and, you know, cut off jeans, and like, I forget exactly, like band t-shirts, all that stuff, like, and even maybe hoping I can get like a jacket of some type that I could put patches on it or whatever. But then I'm like, that's another guy at school. So there were like a few other punks at school. I was the only one in my group that was a punk. I was not in the sort of rocker group that had a couple of the other punks in it. Instead, I was in a hodgepodge group of friends, which a few I still have to this day, but many who are no more, or I don't hope that they're no more, but I don't know, honestly, how they're doing. But so one day, I'm just walking from one class to the next in passing period, and this neighbor of this friend that I have, who I would say was at least, an acquaintance, or I would have, I think before this moment, would have considered him possibly a friend, like at least somebody I know. We skateboarded together. I know you. You are the neighbor of one of my good friends, and I've gone to that friend's house, and I've hung out with you multiple times. So I'm aware of this kid. He's a grade younger than us, so I know this kid. But this kid, I think went from being a skater to being a football player. So I knew that sort of about him, and so I hadn't really interacted with him because I kind of stopped hanging at that friend's house. Drama there. But dude comes walking up to me as I'm passing me and just says, the F word. Every, man's favorite of all F words to me. I guess, I don't know. Is it calling into question my manhood? Is it calling into question my sexuality? I don't really know. I'm not going to say the word. I'm horrible, I know. But I didn't say anything. I just kept walking. I just ignored him. I was like, what the hell? Like, I don't know if he wanted a reaction, if he's feeling hurt. I don't know if it's a thing because you become a sports person, then now you gotta double down and fight. Fight your inner feelings, and so now you gotta look down upon other people and really try to heteronormativize yourself, because you're doing something that is homoerotic as hell, like football, American football, and even European football or whatever. Like, it's still pretty gay. Sports, pretty darn gay, especially contact sports. Figure skating, gay. And there's nothing wrong with it. Nothing is wrong with it being gay. It is gay. A lot of it is gay. It's literally gay. And people are out here acting like it's completely hetero. It's completely... There's no homo... It's ridiculous. It's gay, and it's also nerdy. It's gay and it's nerdy. And I'm going to get into the nerdy part. I think I forgot to set that up top, but that's part of the second part of this title that's above you and that this video is, about. So it's both of those things at the same time, which is kind of ironic because for a long time, sports peoples or sportsmen have been fighting both of those things. We're fighting both of those things, looking at nerds and gay men as being inferior despite doing stuff that is clearly in the same vein. You're rolling around with other dudes. It's literally like rolling around with other guys. It doesn't matter how much how much violence is involved in it. It's still, you're rolling around, you're getting very close, you're hugging. There's a lot of confusing feelings, I think, that happens in there. And there's confusing spiritual connections, I think. And I think, you get sort of that, I think you get that endorphin rush and that adrenaline and all that stuff happening, and so it gets confusing, and then in order to make it feel like it's not gay, they have to go out and they have to attack, people who are possibly gay. And so that I've always sort of when I went home that night, I'm in the shower and I just, I had forgotten about it, but it came back to me and I was like, how am I the F word when you're the one that's involved in football, which is very much that thing. But this is not a really a good rebuttal, because at the end of the day, just because you're gay doesn't mean that you are that F word or whatever. And just because you are involved in sports doesn't mean that you are literally gay or cool with completing all of the various acts that could make, that gay people like to do. But there is some homoeroticism that is involved in specific sports that is sort of, I think, obviously pretty confusing and difficult. And that's not to say that you really completely enjoy all of those aspects in a sexual manner, but there's definitely a physical manner that feels good. That's why you slap each other on the butt. It's just there's something confusing and unsure about all that. That is sort of, you try to undo with just being insane and attacking other people and acting and pretending you're somehow different or distinct from this. And now, so let's shift away from the stuff that'll get me canceled, because that's the culture that we supposedly live in nowadays, I guess, or whatever. But I'm more of the way now. And subscribe and like and share and do all the things. It's nerdy. It's absolutely nerdy. It's so freaking nerdy. There's so many. I mean, honestly, if you watch SportsCenter, the entire purpose of SportsCenter is to have an entire nerdgasm about what's happening in whatever league, whatever like sport. For lack of a better word, I just couldn't. It took me a moment to come up with the word sport, which this is literally what the video's about. That was a good ice cream fudgesicle. That's not really a fudgesicle. I don't know. My brain's broken. So it's nerdy. There's like literal jocks and dudes that are like supposed to be like the antithesis of nerds are nerding out at like the stats and oh yeah, did you hear about Dwayne Wade and they know all of the names like superheroes. They can name off all of the names. They know the teams that they've gone through. They nerd out, and it's like it's more accepted and understood now that is just nerding out with some people. I don't know about all, but it's sort of ironic but that's kind of always what it's been. Like, if you're really into a sport, then you want to understand it on a nerdy level. You want to be obsessed with it, especially if you want to be successful at it. And coaches absolutely have to be nerds about this stuff and, invest their time completely in going through plays and all this stuff, like literally like it's Dungeons and Dragons or something. Like, there's sort of this weird like attempt to separate men who don't like sports into being somehow inferior, despite those men making choices that are still here. Like, it's still like, they're still doing the same things. It's not a distinct sort of, I think thing that is happening among men. Like, we are all still like all doing kind of the same things. Like, all kind of feeling very similar feelings. So picking on other men is toxic masculinity. Picking on other men for doing specific things, I think, that are not completely questionable. Now, there are certain things that, you can roll your eyes at or just, like, be baffled by, I think, still, with stuff that people say or that people do. I think that there are still questions. But in terms of, like, homosexuality, nerdsuality, whatever, like sportsuality, all that stuff, like, I don't think those are bad things. And being a jock can in some contexts be considered an insult, but I don't think that it should be considered an insult anymore. And I think that you should be allowed to be gay, jock, nerd at the same time, or pick just this is who I am, or this is who I am. At the end of the day, you're still playing identity politics. And as much as many people want to pretend like identity politics is only reserved to one political party or political affiliation, it's not. It's everywhere. Even being a part of a political affiliation, like being an ass or aka a donkey, like, you are like playing into political identity. And so I think that's it that I want to say in this video. Is there anything that I've left out? Are you offended now? Am I canceled? Please cancel me, because you kind of you get more successful as you get canceled. So I need to get canceled. if I want to be a huge star. Like, it's clearly, you know, I'm horrible, I know. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. This is the end of the video. Peace out. If you want to subscribe, you can subscribe and share. Maybe not. I don't know. How many people do I want really watching this video? I don't know. We'll see. This is fun. I'm horrible, I know. Take care.